This is the plaintiff, Lavelle Jackson. He says he loaned money to the defendant, who he's known for years and never thought for a minute he'd be stiffed. The guy paid him back all right, but with two checks, one good and the other rubber. All he wants is to be square with the guy, so he's suing for the $510 he's still owed. These are the defendants, Alan and Jerome Biarski. Alan says he has no problem paying the plaintiff back what he owes, but the guy's charging him 35% interest, and since he knows a thing or two about the law, claims that's illegal. The plaintiff was trying to take advantage of him. An old friend. Who does that? Jerome says he has no idea why he's a party to this suit, but is just following court orders. They're accused of refusing to cough off the do-re-mi.
You're welcome.
Okay, Lavelle Jackson,
Yes.
you are suing Alan Biarski and Jerome Biarski for $510 that you say they owe you and have not repaid. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, Your Honor. I've actually known the Biarskis for around 15 years. We used to live in the same housing complex. Alan and I became friends, and we've loaned each other money over the years. I loaned him $3,000 in mid-'90s, and he paid it back. It took him a while.
Okay, do something with those glasses, man. You can drive me nuts. Okay, put them on, take them off there. But...
I can't see without the glasses.
Oh, you don't need to read. Tell me about it. You know your case. You don't need to read.
Okay.
Believe me, I know your pain.
Later on, around 2006, 2007, I became ill, and I borrowed some money from Alan, $300, which took me a while to pay back. I was waiting for a disability, but I eventually paid it back. Alan never bothered me, and I was very grateful that he was very patient waiting for the money. Fast forward, Alan had some problems, and he called me one day. Recently.
Okay.
He was kicked out of a motel that he was staying in, and he called me for help. So I went by to pick him up, and I paid for him for a room at another motel. Okay, that's initiated the succession of loans.
Okay, hold on one second. When you paid for the room, did he pay you back?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Okay, but that initiated a succession of loans. It became like almost a weekly thing, where he needed money. Anyway, I ended up loaning him eventually $975.
Did you loan him actually $975, or was part of that interest to be paid back?
No, it's all cash.
There was no interest involved?
No interest.
So you loaned him $975, and you did that when?
I did that about 2 months ago.
And all at one shot?
No. It was 300 here, 200 there. You know, it was broken up.
Okay, well, I need to know what the breakdown was.
I think the most at one time was probably around 300.
Okay.
300,
no, but
200.
I need to have an exact breakdown of how you arrive at 975. So tell me the dates you loaned him, the money, how much was involved, and the circumstances under which you loaned it to him.
Okay. We usually didn't have that kind of relationship.
I understand, but you're in court now. You can't just say, it's about 975. I don't work in abouts. No, I need to know how it worked.
And I'm not speculating. It's not about it. I received $975 in checks from him.
Okay. Now, did one of those checks bounce?
Yes.
Okay. You received how many checks from him?
I received 2 checks from him.
And one was from him?
One was from him.
And the other one?
Was from his father.
Okay.
The one from his father cleared.
Okay. Why have you sued his father?
Well, only because he said his father was backing him up, and then he gave me the check from the father.
But you know, you're a smart man, and you know darn well that you have no agreement with the father, and that the father didn't bounce a check. So on what legal grounds do you have to drag the father into court over your problem with the son? The answer would be 0. Go ahead and have a seat. You're dismissed from this case, and you can relax. I'm assuming you're the father.
Oh, yeah.
All right. But make yourself at home. Nice to have you here. All right. Alan, what's going on, Mr. Biarski?
Well, what Lavelle has said was true, except the fact that the amount he loaned me was actually $700. Actually, I had done some prior transactions to the one that this one happened. They were for smaller amounts, and he started charging me interest. So
how much interest?
Well, the first one I believe was it was $200. I think it was like 20%, and then it got up to. It started getting up to the higher percentage, and by the time they accumulated the 750, he was charging me 35%. He was charging me $250 on the $700 that I borrowed.
Was it $700 or $750 that you borrowed?
I borrowed $700. He's charging me $250 for the interest and $25 for a ride to the hospital.
Hey, say that again. He charged you for a ride to the hospital?
He charged me for a ride. I asked him to take him to the hospital. I was suffering from a depression, and I had asked him to take me to the hospital, and he said it'll cost you $25.
Did you ever charge him interest on these loans?
No.
Not one penny?
No. Why should I? We never charge each other interest on any loans that we take.
Did you charge him for a ride to the hospital?
I did charge him for gasoline to the hospital because prior to that, I had taken Alan around all over town. When I say prior to all over town, several days, several weeks, trying to help him get an apartment. And the time I get back home, I have an 8-cylinder car. I was like, wow, man, that really cost me.
So you asked him to contribute to gas
So
for
I
all of it?
asked him to contribute to gas.
Did he pay you the $25?
No.
Okay. Is that part of the $975?
No.
Okay.
It's not. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
How do you come to? Then how do you come to?
It's not.
First of all, how do you come to over $1,000? You have a claim here for $600. How do you figure that out?
So if he's charging more than the legal limit of interest, can the defendant just not pay anything back?
No, he has to pay back what he borrowed and maybe at least the legal limit, but he...
Well, that's a good question. Does he have to pay just the amount of the legal limit of interest, or can he pay no interest because the guy tried to get all that money out of him?
You could probably pay no interest.
So the guy forfeits all interest, but you have to pay back the principal?
Yes.
Okay. Fair point. We'll see. Going inside the courtroom.
Why don't you tell me each time that he loaned you money and how much was involved and why you needed the money?
Okay. One of the first times I needed money is to stay in the hotel room that I was staying because I had taken a job in the Caribbean.
So how much was that? You'd
That
taken
was
a job
3
where?
I took a job in the Caribbean.
Okay.
I sold my car. I gave up my apartment. I gave away my clothes. I gave away my furniture.
Because you wouldn't need clothes in the Caribbean.
Well, not what you need up here.
Right.
I mean,
And what was the job that you took in the Caribbean?
It was with Club Med. It was
Nice.
doing some accounting. Yeah, it was very nice.
And what happened?
Except it didn't work out.
Okay. How come?
It didn't work out because there was a very bad communication between myself, my supervisor, and the associate. We had a very bad.
Did you get fired?
5. Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes.
And yes, you did.
Yes,
and
I
then,
did.
Then
Yes,
you
I
came back up here.
Then I came back up here and I had nothing.
Okay.
All right, so I was without the job, so I had to find someplace to live because I didn't have an apartment.
All right. How much money did you borrow from him? How many different times? And how do you come up with the total? Because see, he's right. There's 2 checks that are written, which seem to acknowledge that what is owed is what is owed. So I'm trying to figure out how you come up with a different amount.
Well, the reason why I do is because that's what the agreement was. Because he never, if I received $900 according to him, I would have been better. I would have been well off to pay him back, but he didn't.
How did you keep track of all the money you were borrowing?
It wasn't really. There was a track. It's just like every once in a while I asked him to help me because.
Yeah, really. You're
I
supposed
mean,
to keep track. Were you borrowing money from other people too because of your dire straits?
Yes, I was in a bad situation.
And so how were you keeping track of how much you were owing each person? You had no method, no system?
Well, I know what I owed my aunt.
Right.
So that was they didn't charge me interest or anything like that.
Okay. Well, according to him, he didn't charge you interest either.
According to him, he didn't.
Okay. On the checks, can I see the checks? Did you write anything on the memo line on the checks about how there was interest involved?
No.
Okay. Do you have any proof that there was interest involved? Any emails back and forth? Anything at all that would show me? Because what your objection is, you are agreeing that you owe him on the principal, but you feel that now that you've thought about it, even though you wrote these checks, that now that you've thought about it, you think it's unfair for him to be charging 35% or whatever the amount would be interest because it's usurious, because it's illegal, because it's
Yes.
too much.
Yes.
And if I believe you, you are right. If I believe that their debt is only $700 and that he's trying to get $275 in interest from you, then you would be right. It's illegal. He can't collect it. He can't collect any of it, not just the excess. He can't collect it. That's every state has a different punishment for usury.
Right.
But you have to prove what it is you're saying. And you seem a little bit on the desperate, disorganized part of your life right now.
Well,
so I'm not sure that I should buy what you're saying instead of what my lion eyes are showing me,
Okay,
which is that you never write anywhere that there's, $700 plus interest on a memo line. You write Alan's motel bill. Well, that's what your dad writes. And you
No,
write
that wasn't-
rent motel also. So that's what you write. You write that's the amount you owe. So he's saying, I never charge him interest. We've loaned each other money all of our, the last 15 years. We've been friends for 15 years. I can't believe I'm here. And you're saying, Judge, no, it's different than how it looks. Well, you're going to have to prove that it's different from how it looks, right? Because you wrote a check for $500.
Right,
and now you're changing your mind about whether you owe all this $500. In your mind, you owe how much?
$225.
Okay. But you wrote a check for $500.
I did.
Right? And what happened with that check for $500, by the way? Did you stop payment on it?
I stopped
Did
payment on it,
You
yes.
changed your mind?
Yes.
It says
What
insufficient
changed
funds.
your mind from the moment you, what did you say?
It says insufficient
It
funds.
says insufficient funds? Indeed it does. It says insufficient funds. See, then now, once again, this goes against you and for him that you are just in desperate financial straits as opposed to you have some principled stand. When what happened is you wrote a check and there were no funds to cover it. Dude, pay him the $500 and the $10, okay? And stop loaning him money, because you're not doing him any favors.
Thank you.
Well, let's see what the defendant says now after kind of getting caught there. Why'd you say you stopped payment when it was really insufficient funds?
Well, actually, I did stop payment there. I should have brought the bank statement. It did have a $30 charge for the stop payment.
It said insufficient funds on the statement the judge had in evidence there.
But I have one that says.
All right, so he was there for you when you needed him, right?
Right.
And so why didn't you just pay him back even what you thought you owed him?
I would have gotten. I actually tried to get in touch with him and tried to settle this, and he never returned my call.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, right around the corner here. Sign your documents on the way out of the courtroom. Jose, okay, come on in here. You satisfied how this thing finally comes out?
Oh, absolutely.
What happened here?
I don't know. Well, I mean, he wasn't staying at the Waldorf Astoria. He's borrowing money from me. He's borrowing money from his aunt, and he gets about $4,000 or $5,000 a month himself. So, just
Well, how'd you expect this thing to wind up? You know he's in dire straits.
No, he's the guy that pays his debts, Joe. Mm-hmm. I've known him for 15 years.
Well, why did it change?
You know just as well as I do. I don't know.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, the legal limit of interest varies from state to state, so you really should check with your state before you make deals like this. But above the legal limit, you get no interest.